right. Hello and welcome to the Coach and Profit Giveaway, where top experts are sharing visibility marketing and business strategies for making six figures and more in your coaching business so that you can grow, leverage, and scale your business. I am your host, Stephanie Treasure, online marketing strategist and business coach. And I am thrilled to be your host for this interview series with our valued sponsors that helped to make this event possible. Today, I have the pleasure of speaking with Christina Jandali, business growth strategist, and we are giving you a preview into her valued resource, Content That Converts. But first, let me share a little bit more about Christina with you today so that you can get to know why I wanted to have her here and bring her to this panel of experts so that she can share her expertise with you in this interview and with her free resource for the giveaway. So Christina is a confidence boosting, cash creating business growth strategist who helps coaches and course creators build a raving fan base and produce scalable profits by hosting a free Facebook group. She is a self-made millionaire who started her business from ground zero during maternity leave from her corporate job when she decided that it was time to build her dream and not someone else's. She has since worked with thousands of entrepreneurs across the globe to create their own predictable cash flow machines. Hello and welcome to Christina. Welcome, Christina. It's really a pleasure to have you here.
I'm excited to be here. Thanks for having me.
Awesome. So tell us, let's get started by, I'd love to have you share what you're working on this year that you are excited about, that we can get excited about and look forward to as well.
Yes. So to me, a big thing that I've been talking about recently is this concept of what we're experiencing as the market flip. And what that is if you think about as the market becomes more mature or more sophisticated. So as you know, through pandemic and everything, there's a lot of more people, coaches, and coming to marketplace. So there's a lot more volume of people. And so what we've experienced is more market sophistication, more volume of people coming to market, which means there's a little bit more noise in the marketplace. And as that happens, we start to see, as the market matures, we start to see people having different user experiences, maybe not the best user experiences with purchases that they've made, or maybe they didn't have ROI in some of the programs. So skepticism starts to increase. And it's not just about having promises, it's really about transitioning to more relationship-based marketplace. And on the flip side, when that's happening as an economy contracts, as we've been experiencing, at the time of recording this in Q2 of 2025, as we're going through this, what we're starting to see is as an economy contracts a little bit, as we start to see prices going up, inflation going up for things, as we start to see that people start to take longer to be making buying decisions. And what happens is they want to be making good decisions for them. So we start to see the buying cycle start to lengthen and get longer from the point of people making buying decisions and really entering a marketplace where connection and relationships truly are the cornerstone of what's really going to have people stand out in this marketplace. It's not just business as usual. So to me, what we're working on is really building connection-based, relationship-based sales and marketing strategies that's bringing together the human experience. And as much as I love AI and automations, not fully just depending on that to grow.
Yeah, that's so important. And I have to say, I didn't realize how good the AI can be because I've actually watched videos online, like on YouTube, just in the normal scheme of scrolling through YouTube and just watching content that I am drawn to. And sometimes when I look in the comments, I'll see people saying, "Oh, it's AI," or "This story is a fake," and I'm like, "Really? How is that?" And in addition to which, a lot of people, are utilizing the help and assistance and support of, ChatGPT or Claude or any of them to help them, to aid them with writing content. There are those who are totally creating personas and, everything that they do is fake. And yeah, it really makes the market a little bit more, gun shy, for lack of a better word, and really in search of really seeing real people doing interviews like this. I trust you. None of us are AI bots. We're real. And they're looking, they're being more discerning, as you say. And when they do spend, they really want to be sure that they're spending it not only on the right thing, right thing financially, but on the right thing in terms of this is a genuine purchase, and there's no tricks here, and what is advertised is what I'm going to get. So I totally agree with you. And yeah, it's the onus is on us as marketers to foster those experiences or create those experiences that allow our audience to connect with us more and feel more safe from a genuinely and on integrity, so that they feel more safe too when they're ready to spend. Right?
Absolutely. Definitely.
Yeah, great. So um, we're going to have thousands of people that are joining this event at various stages of their business growth, juggling various things and wearing a myriad of hats. What is one valuable lesson that you've learned that you believe that all coaches and course creators and business owners should know?
Oh, it's such a good question. And the first thing that comes to mind when you ask me that is it's not about you. It's so funny as we build a business, we're faced up and butted against the wall about all the things that we think are about us. Someone doesn't reply, someone doesn't engage with our post, someone says yes, and then they change their mind or they go MIA. People don't show up when they register for things. There's all of these experiences that we have, and it's so easy to make it about us, that it's something I did or I'm not good enough or be in the story. And it's like, think about the perspective of the world of it's not about you. It's not about when you have a community or a Facebook group, it's not the, Christina Jandali Facebook group. It's not it's not about you, it's about the people that you're serving. And when you're focused out on making a difference for the people and you're in curiosity about them and in generosity to them and solving problems for them and committed to landing your communication with them, when you make it about them and they feel seen and heard, suddenly they tune in. Suddenly they pay attention. And the
Yeah.
biggest thing that I see people doing is they're speaking at people versus speaking with people and creating the level of intimacy, that human to human intimacy that they can create. And the only way that you can get there is when you don't think and make it all about yourself and you're making it about them.
Yeah, yeah. Powerful, powerful, powerful words. I mean, that is an umbrella advice for so many things, for seeing the unsubscribes, or if you tag somebody in the Facebook group and then you realize that they exited the Facebook group, or people say no or they ghost you, and all the things that you mentioned, that some of us will wear our hearts on our sleeve and we'll be like, oh no, they don't like me, and who doesn't want to be liked, right? But yeah, there's so many different things at play, and that's a good reminder. Possibly we should have it on a post-it, next to the computer screen, so that everything that we do, or even when we're talking, we remember that it's not about us; it's really about them. Great, great. Thank you so much for sharing that. So, growing and scaling to six figures, which is what we're talking about here in this event, being able to achieve that milestone and maintain it can be a daunting endeavor and a journey that's filled with obstacles, ups and downs, hard lessons, and growing pains. What is one mindset shift, if you can think back with us, that supported you to grow to your first six figures and kept you pushing forward to scale past that as you went to seven figures and beyond?
A great question. And I think that your first six figures, I really believe is the hardest, because you have to overcome your fears and your doubts and all the things in the way too. And it might be trying lots of things and you're experiencing failures and things not working. So it's definitely that, it's a challenging part. But I think one thing that really landed with me. And so for example, I was just falling short of my goals early on in my business, and I kept falling short. And at the time I wanted to generate $10,000 a month. That was the target. I'm like, $10,000 a month. And I would always fall short. And I was so, so frustrated. And when I really thought about what I was missing, I realized I was so focused on strategy and steps and tactics that I was missing the human factor of the relationship. And we thought, how can I create the relationships online? How can I create connection online? And I thought, well, I could do it with a Facebook group. So the first month that I started my Facebook group, I made $30,000, like cash money in the bank received. I was like, wow, I'm onto something. Then I thought, oh, I got it. I got this all figured out. Like I'm good to go. But the next month, I had 17 enrollment conversations, and every single person said no.
Mm.
I was like, how do I go from this high to this low? And I was selling one-to-one coaching at the time. So I was getting on these enrollment conversations, and it was like no after no after no. And as I was going through that, I remember I just kept saying to myself, one day, this is going to be a tremendous story that I'm going to be able to share with my clients in the future. When I get through this, I'll be able to tell people how I made it through this. And it let me write a story about a breakthrough story versus thinking that it was like a dead end. It created this possibility of this story that I was moving through. I'm like, I'm going to get to the other side and get to share with other people. And sure enough, here we are having this conversation about these 17 no's that I got, and realizing, of like shifting and turning that into a breakthrough story. So whatever thing that you're butting up against is, how does that get to become part of your breakthrough story?
Mm. I love that. Very, very powerful. Yeah, yeah. That's a good reframe, right? How, picture yourself talking about this very circumstance, this thing that, you feel like you're up against the wall, things are not working. How can you go through it, turn things around, and be able to relay it to someone, a year down the line, maybe even just only 6 months down the line, or 2 years down the line, right? Um, and that gets you to start to think of problem solving. How can you get through this? What can you do to make things work, turn things around so that you can move past it, right?
Yes, exactly.
Mm, love that. So you have shared with us, or what you're presenting to the folks that are part of this giveaway, is an offer worth $197 titled Content That Converts. Now, I'd love to have you share with us what this is, what's the makeup of it, why you created it, how it will help people that are downloading and getting access to it, giving us kind of like a peek under the hood so that folks can go ahead and download that today as a part of the giveaway.
Yes. So I don't know about you tuning in right now, but some of the challenges that I experienced was getting attention and actually getting people to engage with my content. I also found it challenging because I am a private person. I don't want to share my life. I don't want to share what I'm eating for dinner and take you with the walk for me outside. Like I want to have, a separation between my life and be able to be present in the moments of my life and not go through that. And I found that, some people were saying, oh, you do X number of value posts in the day, and then you make your offer post. And none of that ever works for me. And I tried all the things. And it wasn't until I started to have more systematic approach to my content of realizing, where do I want to lead people? So what's the thing that I want to sell? And how am I cultivating and creating my content to create desire, to create demand, and to create conversation around the thing that I want to move people through? And when I started to realize and discover this for myself and put this into practice, it became so much easier that I wasn't just throwing spaghetti at the walls, trying to just post content for the day for the sake of posting content, but actually have a strategy in place of how can my content, my day-to-day content, set myself up for moving people down the buyer's journey, moving them down towards wanting to invest, wanting to purchase from me, having that desire and demand. So the content that converts is a mini course that we sell, and you guys get it for free, which is amazing. And inside it is, number one, you get a 90-day content planner. So it's fill in the blank content planner for 90 days. You can just fill in the blanks. It's all built out for you. In addition to that is a mini course trainings, little bite-sized pieces that walk you through how the system works. So you can go through the whole thing. I think all in all, it's like 2 hours total to go through the mini segments to walk through how the system works and how it relates to that. In addition to that, in there's ways of, if you're going to do film or video or lives, how scripts that you can use for that. So all that you get for free. Again, it sells for $197. You get the opportunity to take advantage of that as part of this giveaway.
Ah, yes, please. right? Folks, you're getting it all here. 90 days worth of content. It's a training to guide you through it. You can extract, the script for your videos from this so that you can show up powerfully and be able to not just, we're not just talking about creating 90 days worth of content just so that you have, you can post every day for 90 days, but rather the kind of content, the kind of things to talk about, to say, which doesn't have to be your whole life story, doesn't have to be, the personal stuff, but the things that your people want to hear. Because remember, it is about them, not about you, as you mentioned. The kind of things that people want to hear so that they can, feel safe and feel ready to buy your courses or your programs, pretty much be able to work with you. So thank you so much for sharing that. And I want to remind folks, I said this in a previous interview, that in this giveaway, in the Coach and Profit giveaway, one of the things that you're going to love about this, not only are you getting access to things like Content That Converts, which by itself is, almost a $200 program, but you're also going to get access to paid experiences that look like trial, a few months in a paid membership, or a DIY course that's at a higher value, or an intensive, etc. You're going to get access to this on a raffle basis from some of our experts. And Christina has been kind enough to offer a premium spot in one of her programs as a raffle, so that everybody that opts in, that gets access to the Content That Converts gift, you're also going to be entered into a raffle to win this next item. So tell us what that is and the value of it, and why people really want to see if they be entered to win just by opting in for the free offer for this.
Yes. So as I was sharing earlier, how starting my Facebook group really gave me that first like big breakthrough in my business. And things have changed a lot in between there. And, Facebook groups have always been a segment of what we've done as part of our business strategy of creating connection and relationships with our people. And, if we go back and take a look even at our last sales campaigns, 100% of our buyers were inside of the Facebook group. They might have been on our list, but they were inside the Facebook group. So I do have a signature program. We've served more than 2,000 Facebook group hosts over the last 9 years inside of this program. It's a $1,500 product. I don't think we've ever given a sponsored spot into this program ever. And we are going to give one seat to the raffle. And there's 3 components to this program. It's the first segment is to grow your group. So it's like getting members in, getting new people in. How do you start getting your right ideal clients coming into the Facebook group? The second part is engage your group. How do you actually get people talking and excited and engaging with you, creating those relationships with them? And then the third part is about conversion. And that's about how do we move them from, how do we turn that engagement into buyers in a systematic way of being able to build those systems inside of your Facebook group. So we're going to choose one lucky winner that will get access to the signature program. Again, that's worth $1,497, so $1,500 that you'll be able to get access and be able to go through the live experience with the coaching alongside it.
Amazing, amazing. So as a reminder, once you click the button on this page, in the giveaway to access Content That Converts, just by signing up to that, you don't have to do anything else. You'll be entered to win, and Christina or somebody from her team will contact you if you are the lucky winner of the Leading a Kick-Ass Facebook group program that's worth $1,497. So as we wrap up, Christina, we were talking about the power of using or creating the kind of content that converts your people, so that they feel engaged, they feel connected, and they feel moved and safe to buy from you. What can you share as a pitfall or a big mistake, or a landmine, if you will, kind of dramatic, but what's a mistake that you find people doing as it relates to the kind of content that they're sharing, that you want them to be aware of, so that they'll move away from that and towards more of the strategies that you're sharing in Content That Converts?
Yes, I think when it comes to content, one I'm gonna throw in two real quick. One is just piling up a bunch of how-to content and tips and things that just overwhelms people with things that they have to do. And that's not going to create desire and demand. And oftentimes people do that because they're trying to prove that they know their stuff or that they're adding value. But the second thing is when people are trying to get engagement, they ask too hard of questions or invasive questions. I'll give you an example. And a lot of different programs teach this. And and it's like asking people, what's the biggest challenge that you face as it relates to getting your kids to listen? What's the biggest challenge you face as it relates to meeting the man of your dreams? What's the biggest challenge in your business? So the problem with this question, although it's a great idea, we want to know what someone's biggest challenges are. If we're asking this, let's say in a post or content that we're putting out there, people are going to immediately have their backup thinking like there's something wrong that is going on that I have to now like come forward and say, what's going on. So it's very invasive. And so it gives people backup, but simple tweaks. I'll show you like a quick tweak as an example. Instead of saying like, what's your biggest challenge, which just feels like you're on guard suddenly. Instead, you can just flip it to, hey, what's the number one question that you have as it relates to getting your kids to listen? Or, hey, what's the number one question you have as it relates to signing your first paying client? Or what's the number one question, whatever it is that your area of expertise. Now it's not saying like there's something wrong with you and tell me what's wrong with you and what you're facing. It's like, okay, what's the question you have about this thing that I help people with? And the way that people answer that question is going to be related to the challenge that they're facing, but it's asking in a way that doesn't feel like you are invading or making them wrong for something. It's a more inviting way of being able to bring people forward. So that's what I see a lot of times is sometimes it's like such minor tweaks in people's content that gets people responding and engaging. That makes a huge difference in the reactions, the responses, and the engagement that they get.
Mm, wonderful, wonderful. I love that shift. You can still get the answer that you're looking for, but as you said, it asks, the way that you can ask it is in a more easeful way. It doesn't, puts a person on the spot. And, it's something that they can easily feel free, freely say, oh, actually, this is one question that I want. This is something that I wanted to know. So yeah, I like how you put that. So I assume that you're going to get more tips and more support around this in content that converts, right? Perfect.
Exactly. We'll
So
tell you what to do.
perfect, perfect. So be sure, if you haven't already joined the giveaway for sure, go to coachingprofitgiveaway.com. Be sure that you sign up and you'll see the sponsors at the top, Christina being one of them, so that you can access this. If you have already, check your email, go back to the main gifts page and make sure that you download content that converts today. I want to thank you again, Christina, for joining us. And well, you tell me, when people opt in for content that converts, will they be in your space and know where to follow you and where they can keep up with the things that you do share so that they can kind of stay in your space and look out for the things that you're releasing this year?
Yes, as soon as you sign up, you'll get access to that, or you can follow on Instagram, which is at Christina.Jandali, or Facebook, which is Deliver Your Genius.
Perfect, perfect. All right. Thank you again for being a valued sponsor for the Coach and Profit giveaway, for sharing your gifts and especially the raffle item and your expertise on this video. And I will see the rest of you on the next interview.